In this video, I will teach you how to replace those boring naturally generated spruce trees in your world with beautiful custom ones. Let's get started. In 5 easy phases, replace a boring spruce tree with an aesthetic one. Phase 1, the planting phase. Phase 2, the trunk and branches. Phase 3, placing all those leaves. Phase 4, stepping back and making adjustments. Phase 5, adding any final details. Okay, so phase 1. Start with your block palette. For this tree, I just use spruce wood, not logs, and spruce leaves. And then I put aside acacia leaves, dark oak slabs, stairs, and fences, as well as some various snow blocks, saving those items for later. Then, find your reference image. Here's the one I used for this tree. Obviously, you don't have to recreate this image perfectly. Ideally, you just want to take inspiration and make something your own. Moving on to phase 2, making the trunk and branches of the tree. Start with a nice wide base that's relatively circular, then build up to the height you want it, tapering off as you go. After that, you want to add your branches, starting at the top, working down, lengthening them the farther down you are. For this tree, I ended up going about 5 blocks out. After you're done with your initial branch placement, go in and make adjustments. You're never going to get it right the first time, so don't be afraid to make changes. But don't stress too much because you can cover a lot with leaves, which takes us to phase 3, leaf placement. This is generally the most time-consuming part, but for spruce trees, it is a little easier than other trees because the main thing is just covering the branches you made earlier on all sides and adding a few more here and there, not too much else. Though you do want to avoid flat stretches, so if you see any of those, go back in and rough them up. The next thing to think about is where light might be hitting your tree. If we go back to that reference image, we see that this side is much lighter than this side. So we want to use that same principle in Minecraft. And we can do so by using a building technique called forced lighting, which there's a brilliant video on that I'll link in the description. Anyway, to get that lighter darker synergy, we can put those acacia leaves from earlier on a certain side of the tree, making it glow a little bit. Phase 4, almost done. Just take a step back and admire your handiwork. If you don't like something, change it. Make any adjustments you need to. You want to be looking at the big picture, not losing yourself in the details. And reminder, you are almost never going to get it right on the first try, so don't be afraid to make changes. Phase 5. Alright, final details. Let's start with the base of the tree because it just needs a little bit of love. Let's get out those slabs, stairs, and fences from earlier and just make those edges a bit softer or round. With that done, you should have a perfectly fine tree ready to go into your world. If you wanted to add this to an old growth spruce biome or a taiga, stop here, you're done. But for this one, I wanted to add a little winter spice, so I pulled out the snow. Now, remember the light that we added earlier? Well, you should utilize it for this as well, making sure to put more snow on the darker side and less on the lighter side where it would have melted. With that done, congratulations! You have completed making a tree. If you want to use the tree that I just made, or any other trees in this world, in your world, you can. I'll provide a download in the description below. And that's it. If you like this video, subscribe so you can get more tutorials on trees.